ladies and gentlemen, Abdul Rahman al-Harabi has visited the White House a whole bunch of times, sometimes for many hours. You know, he's the Saudi Arabian that it turned out was on the watch list and is connected to the royal family, who was visited by the First Lady and who is obviously being protected and that they're moving to deport. But last week, in fact, guys, I forgot to tell you before the show, you queue up Drudge Report where Big Sis says Drudge Report not credible. And they're asked about this last Thursday. And she says the Drudge Report is not credible. No, that is not going on. And then, of course, Senator Cruz goes, did you read the whole 300-plus page bill that came out a few hours ago? I did read it. Yes. He's like, oh, you did? We've been very busy. I mean, it's just a total liar. And they are acting so suspicious. And I got to be honest with you. If they're arrogant enough to have a Saudi who's got a bunch of his family on the Saudi terror watch list, there's only 85 people on that list, and 6 of them are his family, and then the First Lady visits him on all this, I'm like, is it really? Really? It's that obvious? You know, because Glenn Beck's been all over this. We were on it day one, but just said, okay, he's a person of interest. We don't know. He should be looked at. He should be looked at. And they fished another Saudi out of the Boston River there, so... this is very suspicious what's going on. But still, I got to hand it to Glenn Beck. I mean, you just got to do it. Of course, Drudge Report last Thursday, or was it last Wednesday, linked to our report about the Saudi that was first, and then Beck did a piggyback on it and did get more intel than we had. In fact, he was the first to say he's visiting the White House and stuff. I was like, really? And now it's confirmed. We're going over that today. I mean, this is beyond a spy thriller. And it gets worse. Janet Reno lookalike, excuse me, Big Sis lookalike. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. Mr. Maddow. No. Pat from Saturday Night Live. Okay, that's wrong to do that. Rachel Maddow, Ms. Maddow, Ms. Maddow, Ms. Teleprompter, went on a 14-minute tirade against myself and the Drudgeonator and others, and says it's a conspiracy that First Lady visited this guy when it's on record she did. And you got the Saudi ambassador, or the foreign minister, even more powerful, running around that night in emergency meetings with Obum, with the POTUS. By the way, I saw on YouTube people commenting going, it's POTUS, not POTUS. That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not POTUS. I mean, I got to make a joke here. When the media 2 days ago, and they're still doing it worldwide, saying Alex Jones influenced the bombers, who, by the way, the one living who had his larynx cut out, his vocal cords chopped on, and he climbs out of the boat and come on over here, buddy. You know, get the scalpel ready. Maybe they should use a chainsaw on him like Buzzsaw from The Running Man. But this is all falling apart like nothing I've ever seen. And she gets up there and just says that it's all a conspiracy theory, and then uses a clip out of context where I talk about a secret space program and thousands of dead astronauts. To be technical, I've talked to 3 different NASA guys. One of them agreed to come on air, who was in Air Force intelligence in Vietnam, then was on the front line of the Houston program, ran the cameras on the moon, and then he choked up on air and wouldn't say it all. I guess that national security conditioning, I've been over to his house. I've seen it all, you know, the big presidential awards. He's got like that highest award you can get. That's one of the guys. 2 other guys confirmed it. I've also talked, I guess 4 guys. One of them, 2 are on record. Dr. Bob Bowman, former head of the Star Wars program. And the point is, when I said thousands, I've talked to people that were in programs where they knew hundreds had died. Like 98% of the space program is secret. They tell you 90% is. It's like 98. What you see is for show. I mean, hundreds of test pilots died.
I'm Darren McBreen, and these are some of the new items that are available now at InfoWarsShop.com.
Alert the public to Obama's blatant abuse of power with the new Obama t-shirt. Obama's Joker face on the front and come and take it on the back. It's time to publicly call him out for what he is, a tyrant. Defend the Second Amendment with our top seller Come and Take It t-shirts. And look at that, women's cut tank tops and t-shirts now available. Nice hat. plus the Don't Tread on Me flag. And now you can become a micro distributor of the InfoWars magazine. Plus, get your own copy delivered right to your door each and every month. And if you're tired like I am of you and your family being exposed to polluted drinking water, get the Pro One high-performance water filter. It gets rid of all pathogenic bacteria, cyst, fluoride, heavy metals, and numerous other contaminants.
So join the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll remember a few weeks ago, Mark Dice did a man on the street, and every person he talked to, but 2 women, agreed that all guns should be confiscated and gun owners should be arrested in California. They signed a petition to do that. We had our crew out in California to interview Professor Griff of Public Enemy when he was being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and some other people for an upcoming film. I'll just tell you, Obama Deception 2. And we said, why not just go see Mark Dice and go back out and ask some of our questions on top of it? So we said, should we turn California over to Nazi Germany? People signed a petition for that, to go under Nazi rule and to get rid of the police force and confiscate the guns. We basically followed MSNBC script of, it's for the earth, for the children, and the people did sign. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. We're going to premiere that. It is not aired on the nightly news. It is not aired. We're going to premiere that today here. You have to understand, this is the majority of Californians. We did not go to a mental institution. We did not go to a place with people that have had brain injuries. God bless their soul. This was real people that could talk being told, we're going to put gun owners in camps. We're going to inject children with mercury. We're going to turn America over to Nazis. And they signed petitions to do it. Now, that is and by the way, we're going to go even more outrageous here in Austin. We've had people sign, everyone in Austin signed to ban water for the earth. And we're going to go out and say, execute children for the earth. We're going to say, put children in microwaves for the earth. And because if you do it in an NPR voice and say, I'm a liberal, let's murder children, they will sign, I'm predicting. Next week, we're doing that. And they will sign. We're going to go to the University of Texas to murder the children of America. You think I'm joking? You don't understand how evil these people are. This is a cult of sickos. If they hear something evil, they're for it. I mean, remember what Bill Maher said a few months ago? He said, I want more death, more abortion, more killing, more shootings. But he wants your guns for the children of Sandy Hook. See, in a rare moment of, see, you think I'm joking. This is not satire. The Attorney General owns abortion clinics in America that do a partial birth abortion, where they're shoving babies into toilets to drown. These people are, I mean, look at the Nazis, look at the Soviets, look at the Romans, look at the Aztecs. When you let scum get control, giant black pyramids get built and human sacrifice starts. People ask, what's at the bottom of the rabbit hole? Pyramids and human sacrifice. I don't know why. That's what's at the bottom of the rabbit hole. That is history. That is what goes on. And yes, it sounds crazy to people that haven't read history books. But if you know reality, if you know history, you know what happens when we become subservient. Good people have to band together and say no to bullies and corrupt, or the very worst of the corrupt will get in control and turn the world into a playground. You know, you think of being able to go to Tahiti for 2 weeks and skin dive and lay on the beach, you know, drinking rum and cokes. Or you think of, you know, being able to go around and see horse races all over the world, you know, whatever you're into. Or you think of being able to go and see the most beautiful art of the Louvre. Or you think, you know, the most wonderful thing in the world would be to go mountain climbing whenever you want. You're a normal person. You like to garden. You like to go to church. You like to help people. You like to visit your family. But see, you don't like to be in power. So you're not in power. People that want power are in power. And they always finally go, what else can I do? Everybody does whatever I say. Give me your firstborn kids. You know, you read the Bible, which has been, you know, documented to be very historical, one of the best history books out there, because, you know, they've dug up the Roman histories, the Greek histories, the Babylonian histories, the Egyptian histories, and the stuff the Bible says was in there, wow, keeps getting confirmed. And every culture would demand By the way, bring your kids by. We're gonna burn them on an altar next week. All firstborn. I mean, every culture does this. Every culture. And see, I'm here. They can play clips of me saying this on the national news like they do and go, look at this crazy person. But anybody who has history or anthropology or sociology knows this is true. So see, I know where big government leads. And this video we're going to premiere in the third hour after Gerald Celente joins us in the second hour is extremely powerful. And you have to understand, we're going to show you the few people that didn't want to turn their guns in. We're showing you what we went out and got. We're showing you everything. If a few people didn't respond and walked off, we're not showing them. In Austin, every person signed a petition. One said no and walked off, but every other person signed a petition to ban water for the earth. It's for the earth, ban water. Yes, ban water. And that's nothing. We're going to go out and say, yeah, Journal of Bioethics said kill children up to age 3 for the earth. Yeah, we're going to start post-birth abortions. And they're going to sign. They're going to sign. And we're going to show you who they are. They are weak. They are pathetic. They are mindless. They are servants of this evil. They are MSNBC viewers. Now, speaking of MSNBC, a disheveled-looking, weak, panicked, pathetic mouse that roared, sitting on top of her tiny megaphone, in an act of confidence man behavior, the MSNBC host with her dwindling audience, I mean, we're talking on a good night, 600, 700,000 viewers. A bunch of arrogant, social engineering authoritarians posing as liberals. You are no liberal. Thomas Jefferson was a liberal, ma'am, Ms. Maddow. You are no liberal. And the video's up on Infowars.com. We're going to be playing this at the bottom of the hour. Rachel Maddow froths over Boston false flag and Alex Jones. And just realizes, hey, lady, let's be conservative lately. All the different videos, you look them up. We're getting about 5 million viewers a day on YouTube. We have probably now 6 million listeners a day right now. We're trying to gauge some of the instant numbers coming in, but it's about double. Web traffic's been about 10 times what it usually is. Now it's only about 5 times right now. Let's be conservative. We used to reach 15 million people a week. It's probably been about 50 million a week lately. Mouse that roared, who sits there on your little teleprompter pedestal trying to convince your dwindling audience of cult members that if we go out and repeat their lines of, yeah, racist Tea Party people want guns, we want to confiscate them and arrest them, every Californian, oh, yes, you don't have to tell me, buddy. Let's arrest them. Oh, yeah. They put us in FEMA camps so fast. I mean, Obama was trained by the weathermen who it came out in federal court, planned to take over America, bring in the communist Chinese. They want to make Mexico go communist and put 50 million conservatives in forced labor camps, and they estimate 25 million of us will have to be killed. That was in the 1970s. I mean, to play those clips? You got 7 czars quoting Mao Zedong. I mean, folks, when your government's quoting Mao Zedong, that's time to run down the street screaming, the body snatchers are here. At the end of Body Snatchers, the 50s version, where the guy's running around the street going, yeah, they're in danger, we're on everybody. And he jumps in the back of a truck and he sees more of the pods. He's like, ah. But then he goes, and he's a doctor, and he talks to the doctor, and he talks to the police, and they actually listen to him and say, let's get the army on the phone. I'm like, wow, a happy ending. But see, in the real world, if pod people landed, folks, and took over MSNBC, they would say, go to the local sports stadium where you will be given your pod. They would go and do that. That's how cult-like these people are. They will do anything. I mean, we said we're gonna have the Nazis take over and put people in camps, and they put conservatives in camps. You're like, you just signed a petition to put people in a Nazi camp. Thank you very much. God bless you for that. I mean, these people, I'm telling you, the way to bring them down, I shouldn't laugh. It's just so sick. The way to bring them down is go show who they are. A frickin' cult of people. You ever watch MSNBC and CNN? All they do is talk about how smart progressives are, how smart liberals are. You're not progressives. You're not liberals. Progress is Benjamin Franklin. Progress is Henry Ford. Progress is splitting the atom. Progress is increasing IQs, increasing longevity. I haven't even gotten to the big news yet. When we come back, I'm going to try to discipline myself and go over this. I can't believe how right we were, and I'm not tooting my horn. It is incredibly dangerous. It is incredibly scary to have national media, the old vestigial Eye of Sauron coming after us. Even though it's weakened, it still shows the power behind it is very evil and very weaponized. It is confirmed that the Saudi Arabian terror suspect al-Harabi visited the White House numerous times. One time, if I read this correctly, was there more than 6 hours. And by the way, this is on the White House website. And it turns out that Michelle Obama, here it is right here. I need Kurt Nimmo to do a whole bowl down with all this in one spot. Michelle Obama did indeed go visit this guy. And by the way, what is their response to this guy that was on the terrorist watch list? Janet Napolitano, the Janet Reno lookalike or clone, was a bad clone. That's why she got the white streak in her hair. I'm being sarcastic, but it might as well be a clone. The power-tripping, narcissistic nutball up there who says that she, I read an 800-page bill. I read a 300-page bill in a couple hours. Yes, just lying to Congress constantly, disdainful, arrogant, radiating criminal energy. I mean, just look at her. I mean, just run. Danger, Will Robinson. She goes, Drudge is not credible. Just like Hillary got all arrogant about Benghazi, caught red-handed lying about all that. She acts all disdainful. It's a confidence game. They're caught red-handed. It's like walking in front of a guy on top of your wife. There's no sheets, anything there. It's going on. And he gets off and says, hey, I wasn't doing that. It's like catching your kid with a hand in the cookie jar. And they look at you and say, I wasn't stealing cookies. And she says, no, there's no watch list. There's no person of interest. We're not deporting him. All lies. All lies. Perjury before Congress.
Jakari Jackson here, and I want to talk to you for a second about water. You know about ProPure, our flagship water purification system, but check out some of our portable water filter products at InfoWarsStore.com. The clearly filtered water pitcher. Also, for those of you on the go, we have the Athlete Edition filtered water bottle and the RAD Eliminator Pro filtered sports bottle that removes radiation. And keep in mind, we have replacement filters for all of these products. The ever-popular grab-and-go bag favorite, the Life Straw, the Crystal Quest shower filter system, and the Aquapod kit, great for mass storage of water. And while you're at the InfoWars shop, pick up a copy of our latest book, 31 Days to Survival. You can find all this and more at the InfoWarsStore.com, and don't forget it's your support that funds our operation. Sign up for our free newsletter at InfoWars.com/newsletter.
But how dare us say government might ever let terrorists attack us or might provocatorum, even though it's in the New York Times and Associated Press and well known. I mean, how dare us? How dare you say I had sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say they lied about mobile anthrax labs that they knew good and well were for pumping up hot air balloons to direct artillery from the Iran-Iraq war that the U.S. sold them via the British? I went and looked up those trucks in Jane's Weapons Quarterly, and they were hydrogen blimps, hydrogen pumps. But oh no, in fact, we broke, by the way, that those were not anthrax mobile labs. You're like, what, do you like Saddam? No, I don't like fake wars, blaming a country for 9/11 that wasn't involved. I mean, now, if it turns out Saudi Arabians were involved in this, will we attack Greenland? Maybe, spin the wheel, spin the globe, and put pin the tail on the donkey and just go up and pick a country to attack? Here's the big one. Hagel has now come out. I saw this right when I went live, and then I was just watching him on CNN with Wolf Blitzer during the break. Hagel says evidence chemical weapons were used in Syria. That's right. We a year ago saw al-Qaeda testing chemical weapons in Syria, saying we're going to use it. And the West is inserting al-Qaeda, attacking a country's done nothing. And now they're saying we've got to attack and bomb Syria because they've got chemical weapons and are going to use them and did use them. And we said a year ago with Syrian girl, whose family's anti-Assad, lives in Australia. She's been on national TV there. We still call her Syrian girl, even though her identity's now public. And, her family was part of the top government before that, before Assad. And she's a Sunni, not a Shiite. But she says al-Qaeda is evil and bad. And everything she told us is true because she is jacked in directly to the real international Syrian community. In fact, I want Syrian Girl back on tomorrow. Ron Paul's on tomorrow, but I want to get her back on just for 15, 20 minutes sometime tomorrow. And, you know, I said I'd get to the other Maddow thing. I'm going to get to that next segment. Let me start getting into this now. You saw was Thursday, Big Sis got asked, you know, like for 6-7 minutes. I'm going to play just a few minutes of it. The full clip's online. Just type in Big Sis says Drudge not credible. And then we're brought up, hey, these Saudi Arabians reportedly on the no-fly list. They were taken off that list. He's being deported next week. We have the deportation order. He was reportedly visited, you know, all this stuff. She's like, that is not credible. That is not credible. And there it is. Napolitano, Drudge report is not credible. Washington Examiner. And then this week, it all came out. Infowars.com. Suspected Saudi terrorist al-Harabi visited White House numerous times and sometimes spent most of the day there or the night there. I mean, this is like incredible. What was going on? I mean, what were you doing? Planning some Mission Impossible thing? I mean, this is incredible. And all of this has now come out, and she's been caught lying about it. And Infowars.com was the article Drudge linked to, and then The Blaze as well. And now they're saying, well, it must be Photoshopped, even though it doesn't look Photoshopped, even though she was in town at the time going to visit this guy. Is that why high-level ambassadors went to visit him? Is that why the foreign minister went and visited the White House that night? Is that why this guy's been to the White House? Is that why he's jacked into the royal family? Is that why he was on the terrorist no-fly list, watch list? Let's go ahead and go to Big Sissy. Here it is.
I will tell you, we found it so inherently unbelievable that those statements would be made. It was hard to ascribe credibility to them, and I don't know if I would put Forbes and Drudge in the same sentence, but let me be as clear as I can be.
Well, leave Drudge out of it, I wouldn't. I think they're credible, but Forbes is definitely a credible magazine. And so when they use that number and then we hear silence from the department and Americans see the ammo shelves empty, you know, all that feeds that.
Well, like I said, it got into the blogosphere and it went viral. We understand that. And as I was with Senator Johnson, let me be as clear as I can be.
Yeah, and again, that's enough. That particular clip's about the ammo thing. Because separately, they were discrediting that. But if you go watch the full clip, it's also about Saudi Arabians and those stories. By the way, I keep seeing online, Alex Jones got caught in the ammo hoax. It's now 2,200,000,000 plus bullets in the last year and a half. Armored vehicles, it's all real. And they think you're so stupid. They get up there and say none of this is real. Ladies and gentlemen, Homeland Security has taken delivery in the last year and a half of 1 billion rounds, and they've got 1,200,000,000 on order that they can't even get delivered. So they're buying so much that all these factories for 2 years out now can't sell to anybody else. And as soon as they expand capacity, they double down and buy even more to try to dry up ammo. Is ammo being dried up right now in the calibers they're buying? Yes, you can't get it. 9mm, 40 caliber. 308, 223, all the things the federales use, the globalities. They're not even feds, they're globalists. 7 o'clock Central. Everybody can watch at prisonplanet.tv. We have the free video feed. We're still running at Infowars.com/listen. We might change that to /listen and also /TV, so it makes more sense. But the audio feeds are all there as well in the free iPhone, Android apps, all of it at Infowars.com/listen. Okay, here's the deal. I want to be very clear about this. I wish that this wasn't happening. I wish we didn't have international criminals totally above the law that have seized control of the federal government or trying to mop up resistance around the country. But that is what it is. And they go to Davos, they go to Bilderberg, they go to the Financial Times of London, and they just write articles admitting how they've conquered us and how they're authoritarian and how we're too stupid to even resist them. I mean, they plant the flag. They mark us like a dog marks a fire hydrant. And, man, I don't like it in my face. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. And Maddow and others think you are complete morons. Document cam, please. So I'm going to go to the document cam here in a moment. But let me just recap some of what's going on here, okay? You got Michelle Obama clearly in town at the time and clearly visiting the Saudi who they're acting suspicious about and wanted to deport and had on a no-fly list, and but who's simultaneously constantly visiting the White House. And here's that story from the Right Scoop. You can go right to the whitehouse.gov. And this is a federal law Patriots got in decades ago that we know who comes to the White House. But instead they'll do these walk-bys where somebody just, oh, we accidentally let you in. We don't let tourists even take photos of the building, even though we're supposedly a free country. But that's okay, though. We'll have the Secret Service follow media around that dare try to even get shots of the White House. That's happened to us, and I've seen it happen to mainstream media as well. But, oh, we're just going to have a walk-by where the Saudi foreign minister just magically shows up the night of the bombing. And you've got the no-fly list, and you've got the cover-up, and you've got the guy right where the bomb goes off, and you've got him connected with 6 of his family on the terror list in Saudi Arabia when there's only 85 people. That's been reported. And you look at how long al-Harabi, this guy, was there. I mean, sometimes he's there more than 6 hours. I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe he's just, playing ping pong with the president or basketball or something. So there's nothing to see here. Move along immediately. Just don't look at that. Meanwhile, let's then shift gears into the other news that I have here. We talked about this yesterday. It was in local news in Georgia when the senator spoke out. And since then, it's been confirmed. Since Senator Chambliss went public, U.S. had more tips on Boston suspect. Congress is asking questions. That'll be, i.e., whitewash, because they know the American... First, it's don't answer questions, don't ask questions. There is nothing going on. It's a conspiracy theory. There was no drill. There was no bomb squad. There weren't... it's got to be 50 people with black backpacks that all act like they're part of a drill. Special forces types, National Guard, plain clothes. We know there was a bomb drill. That's the Boston Globe reported it that day. Then they said, oh, no, we didn't. Then we have the photos and the video. They did. Why are they hiding that? Why are they at the press conference with Secret Service in Obama's detail when he's not even nearby in front of our guy saying, don't hold those photos up? And the FBI says, no one go look at this guy's photos on national TV. Whatever you do, don't look at them. And who is it? It's al-Harabi. It's all these other foreigners with backpacks. It's the contractors with backpacks. And the FBI's like, do not look at that. Do not look at that. Even though the day before they had the arrest, it was going to be a right-winger. He was at the courthouse. They had to evacuate that. I guess, well, they probably got rid of that person. They're probably wearing lead shoes right now, or bowling balls tied to them. Probably find them like the other dead Saudi Arabian out in the lake. The point is, and I predicted that, I mean, this is a hardcore operation. And now it's come out, confirmed, the documents have been released by the Georgian and Russian media, and our White House is mum on it. This guy was part of the CIA, Tamerlan. He was part of a Jamestown group, as it's called, run by, who calls for putting radical Muslims up against the Russians and radicalizing the Islamic Crescent, as they call it, under Russia, in the stands from Georgia to Dagestan. A repeat of the thing they did in Afghanistan in '79 through the 80s with the Mujahideen, Al-Qaeda. Zbigniew Brzezinski, ladies and gentlemen. Zbigniew Brzezinski. Oh, but let's continue here. I thought there was no prior knowledge. I thought they didn't know. U.S. had more tips. That's Reuters. But did nothing. Oh, of course they did nothing. Congressman, 5 jihadists have reached their targets in the United States under Barack Obama. Yeah, he's putting the jihadis all over the world in charge. 2 U.S. agencies added Boston bomb suspect to watch list. They do that as a cover, kind of like the CIA Al-Qaeda guys that we've pointed out on the news, and the FBI will do an arrest when they come back to the U.S., but then release them. That's to cover their bases when the guy later gets set up. Because I've seen this over and over again. Again, you have an agent who you tell be part of a drill, and he's going around to mosque to find radicals, saying, let's blow up and kill Americans. That then creates the ledger and the history to say he's a real terrorist. They did that with McVeigh, who was Special Forces. Let's continue here. 2 U.S. agencies added Boston bomb suspect to watch list. The picture emerging was of counterterrorism bureaucracy that had at least 4 contacts. Oh, the mother said it was 5 years. Everything she said was confirmed. The Russians blew his cover, with Russian spy services asking about the brothers in the year before he took a 6-month trip to Russia in 2012 to Dagestan and other areas, Chechnya, but never found reason to investigate him further. Well, yeah, because he was CIA. After the CIA cleared him of any ties to violent extremism in October 2011. Why? Because, what did we say last Friday would come out? Boston bomber role in CIA and Chechen terror. We broke it. Not hard to break. It's a handbook. Criminals are pathological. The globalists are criminals. They're pathological. They're obsessive compulsive. Islamic terror from Caucasus, next phase of plan to undermine our liberty. I'm not saying all obsessive compulsives are terrorists. I'm saying in criminology, a lot of your smarter, high-level psychopaths are also obsessive compulsive. Obsessive compulsive tends to be associated with higher intelligence, just like in breeds of dogs that have higher IQs, higher aptitude. They tend to be more obsessive compulsive. At least you can be obsessive compulsive. The average jellyfish can't obsess on anything. They have no focus. Anyways, let's continue here. Boston bombers, role of CIA in Chechen terror, Islamic terror from Caucasus, next phase of plan to undermine our liberty. That is April 19th, listing Brzezinski in here. Kurt Nimmo. Okay. Oh, yesterday, Kurt Nimmo, Tamerlan, attended CIA-sponsored workshop. He was radicalized by CIA, on record, a group run by the CIA, sponsoring him. They're driving Mercedes. They've got tons of cash. He's going around like a playboy. You see all those CIA recruitment ads? Be part of the CIA on TV? That's why they're so freaked out. Rachel Maddow and everybody are just, she looks like her house is burning down when she attacks me, because they know they have no viewers. They know all they have is jellyfish watching that are idiots. They know we have the initiative, and we are blowing them to hell in the info war. We are wrecking them. I mean, this is what life is all about. Savaging scum in the info war, overrunning them, not listening to their propaganda, using the truth to absolutely smash them into a pile of wreckage. And just to be committed to this and fearless, it's just such a blessing. Thank you, God. Let's continue here. We will defend the Republic, scum. Tamerlan attended CIA workshop. Boom. Mainline Russian news, Georgian news. Top Georgian generals have released the documents as part of a CIA non-governmental organization. Boom. coach, bomb-sniffing dog spotters en route before explosions, told them it's part of a drill. Don't worry, because everybody's like, why are there all these bags? And what's the motive? Trillions in the next decade in domestic drones, spy operations, data mining, per year, $10 billion contracts to congressmen, wives, companies. I mean, just pell-mell corruption, making every American a suspect. Papers, please. Army on the street, smoke screening all the corruption. Wall Street stealing $85 billion a month, pumping it offshore. That's your motive. It's a clash of civilizations. They radicalize every Muslim group, let them wreck other countries so they can't be industrialized. It's Agenda 21. The New World Order, MSNBC attacks me and says, Alex Jones had an article, Obama head of al-Qaeda worldwide. Who is the titular head of the Pentagon? Who is the main guy in NATO? Who is ordering billions of dollars to be given to al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria to take over countries? Who is the head of NATO? Who is the most powerful executive with power over that? It's Barack Obama, even though he's a puppet. I mean, he is the head of al-Qaeda. See how that's hiding in plain view? And I got to give my rights up? I got to let weirdos grab my wife's crotch to fly because of al-Qaeda when you people run them and then you call it a conspiracy theory, you stupid witch? We're going to play this clip, but the one thing she criticizes me on that I will say has some validity here is they found one clip of where I said thousands of astronauts have died in secret space program. What I was told by multiple NASA people, off record but two on record, Bob Bowman was the former head of Star Wars program. he said by the late 70s they had a fleet of space planes with DU Sabos in them. And the only reason he could say that was they accidentally leaked it in a debate on C-SPAN. He said it's super national. That was in the late 70s. They admit over 90% of the space program's secret. Try 98, 99%. Okay, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm from Texas, folks. I know a lot of people. I grew up around NASA stuff. I know people that were involved in NASA programs as children that have been high level in Microsoft. And I'm just going to, high level. Key men. Okay? Key. And the point is, there is a giant program we don't know about. And it's compartmentalized. Underground bases, you name it. Hundreds. Guys, look up the number of U.S. test pilots known to have died. Well, I think it's in the hundreds. Imagine the secret space program. So what I was told, programs that different people, and Bowman didn't get into this, he got on the space planes. What I was told, and the guy said he'd come on air, he came on air and choked up and didn't do it. It's Raymond Teague. Raymond said there were a lot of people dying, and that there's reportedly Russians, Chinese dead on the moon as well. There's a reason. The point is they did go to the moon. They just don't show you all the real stuff and also fake some stuff for PR purposes. But the point is, others told me, oh, it's true, massive death rates. People couldn't handle astronauts getting barbecued on launch pads. They've had space planes going into space since the 60s. And what I was told, that program killed hundreds. These are guys that, beyond Chuck Yeager. Of course, Chuck Yeager knows about all this. That were, I can't really say beyond Chuck Yeager, but that type of guy. Just like, I'm ready to do it. I volunteer. On suicide missions, because they didn't have computers that could control it, or even, guided stuff that good then. Suicide missions in the early to the late 60s. I'm going to have to skip this network break. This is too important. To test alloys and composites to get these space planes into orbit. And a lot of men died, so the globalists can now have robots do it. But it was humans that did it, and it was humans, and the word was hundreds died in that program. So I extrapolated out. They said, I don't know about the other programs. If hundreds died in spaceplane programs in 60s, so that by the 70s they could put robots in orbit, then what do you think's going on? I don't know if thousands died. Okay? But I extrapolated that if one program, I said, dozens? Try up. Hundreds? Yeah, hundreds. There was something like between 4,000 and 10,000, nobody knows, troops that died in secret war in Vietnam from 59 to 64 before they staged Gulf of Tonkin. And that wasn't declassified until about 10 years ago. That they said a little over 4,000. Some numbers are higher. Now I'm going to play the Rachel Maddow and pause and talk over her here. And again, stations shouldn't play over this next break because it's a network break. I do this more and more. I don't even plug my own sponsors here on air because I'm so obsessed with just getting the word out. But this is them in damage control. If you can't see the video as a radio listener, go up to Infowars.com because she is in panic mode. Look, you've lost the confidence of the people. And there's no going back, okay? You understand that, Maddow? You've gutted America. You've wrecked us financially. You've got control of that. You're putting millions on food stamps every month. You're gutting our industry, shutting down our power plants. But you can see that it's not going to go on forever. Because some of us aren't cowards. And that's why I say I admire Drudge. Because Drudge gets it, and Drudge knows there's evidence to all this, and so he's willing to be attacked. Notice Janet Napolitano didn't say he's not on a no-fly list or, he's not listed as a potential terrorist. She just said that isn't credible source. But then, of course, it all turned out it was true. And what was Drudge linking to? Infowars.com. See, they're mad, folks, because all the other media will sell out. All the other media will play ball. But no one's watching you anymore. You're a shadow of your former self. Look at you. And, yeah, you get to be on a power trip with your eugenics and your death cult and, I just want more death, more abortion, more killing, the stuff that they put on HBO with Bill Maher. I know you hate us. We know you hate us, you scum. You're control freak nuts who don't want to build up humanity. You pose as liberals so you can have your way with us. You trash. We see you, trash. And we have the instinct to throw ourselves against you, okay? So this is a game of chicken, folks. And you have to defeat these people. You have to fully commit. Drudge knows the old system's gone. You people have no power anymore. Sure, you got the guns and the feds, but you don't have the moral authority anymore. You're a joke, you witch. Let's go ahead and go to, this is part of the 15-minute clip or whatever it is. But this is where she really gets into Badandi. How dare him ask a question about a drill when the drill is on record now? But she thinks her audience are morons. Here it is.
Crazy conspiracy theories are also trying to sell the idea that the Boston Marathon bombing did not happen. Or if the Boston Marathon bombing did happen, it was done by the government. It's an elaborate hoax to make us believe that we were attacked when really we weren't attacked. It was our government doing it to us. It's all part of the way the government controls us or something. To be clear, I'm not talking about family members of the bombing suspects saying we believe our family members are innocent. That's a whole different thing. What I'm talking about is full-blown American conspiracy theories that the U.S. government itself bombed the Boston Marathon.
Have you take any questions?
Oh, sir, why were a lot of speakers telling people in the audience to be calm moments before the bomb went off? Is this another false flag stage attack to take out civil liberties and promote homeland security by sticking a hands down on the camps on the streets?
No. Next question.
Why was people being told try?
I hit pause. By the way, they did start sticking hands down the pants and papers, please, and they'd walk up to a family that looked nothing like the suspects and go, let me just see your ID. Have the army pointing guns at them. Oh, so I'm a conspiracy theorist because that happened? And you did use it to basically have martial law? And now say, everybody loves martial law. This will be the new way of life. Show the front page of Infowars.com. Anthony Frieda's art showing the American in a FEMA camp, showing his papers. We can show you the real papers, please. Type in papers, please, Infowars.com. By the way, they're on the news right now just openly saying they're going to attack Syria now because they have WMDs and use chemical weapons. Why not? I mean, they'll probably get on the news and say that Assad launched the attacks in Boston. Why not? They'll probably say Assad is al-Qaeda when he's fighting al-Qaeda because they think you're idiots. But the difference is the American people are not complete idiots, and they're starting to find out. Let's go back to the one that sits up on her high horse, and she'll tell you what's real. She'll tell you what's going on. And she's so mad, too, that you support us with $5.95 a month to subscribe to see the films and stuff, though most of the stuff's free. She gets banker bailout money. MSNBC does. She's government and globalist funded. She's so mad that you've still got enough money to support free media. She gets into that, too. She absolutely hates it. Here it is.
9:30 tomorrow morning will be the next break. To the bombs going off to stay calm. That's a false flag, gentlemen. It's a more TSA on the street to rob our civil liberties. We know your whole manifesto.
That was day one of the Boston Marathon bombings. The very first question put to law enforcement and government officials when they held their press conference to explain to people what was going on, the very first question was somebody alleging that the government had bombed the marathon. It was a false flag attack. And it was not just that one time that happened. This kept happening at the press briefings.
I know you denying that there was bomb drills Monday morning. We got photographs on Infowars.com, folks.
Next question, please. Next question, please. Yes. Yes.
Pause. By the way, while this is happening, Secret Service are in his face, pushing him and yelling at him and telling him, don't show people the photos of, the Saudi Arabian and others. It's like out of a movie. And Maddow is panicking. What if other slaves go to press conferences? What if other slaves ask questions? By the way, they're now getting ready to start bombing Syria, a poor country, to then turn it over to al-Qaeda to slaughter the ancient Christian and Jewish communities there and the Muslim minority communities. It's such a war crime. And they got that weirdo black op commander, Hagel, up there like a shark with his shark eyes, just lying to people. Known liars. Oh, Syria's got WMDs. And you watch when they're done. When they're done, they're going to say Syria was behind the bombing. And I'll be a traitor because I don't want to put al-Qaeda in charge. Let's go back to Mr. Maddow.
Yes. Yes.
Why are you denying there was bomb drills?
Bomb drills.
The conspiracy theorists claiming that there was not really a Boston bombing, that it was the government blowing us up on purpose so that they can enslave us.
All right, pause. Yeah, we're not being enslaved. No. Criminal globalist elements. Criminal globalist elements, lady. I mean, how many times has the government... Should I play Dan Rather? Just type in World Trade Center government bombing into YouTube. You'll get Dan Rather and New York Times and all of it saying the government cooked the bomb, trained the driver, and then let it go forward, even though the informants tried to stop it and said, don't bomb those people. I mean, you stupid witch. Not all of us are scum like peacock narcissists that sell out to evil so you can be somebody up there on your little perch. I'll tell you who's somebody. It's people like Badandi that have got the guts to go in there and break with all the fraud and all the hoax and call the man behind the curtain for what it is, a stinking lie. Let's go back to her.
This is not a freelance thing. These guys are mostly associated with a popular conspiracy theory talk show called InfoWars. The host of the show is a man named Alex Jones. Yesterday afternoon, Matt Drudge, who's the purveyor of the most influential conservative website in the country, the Drudge Report, yesterday afternoon, Matt Drudge tweeted this. He tweeted, "I've privately told friends that this will be the year of Alex Jones. One hell of a broadcast in such a homogenized media." Again, this is from the most influential figure in conservative media who is not named Roger Ailes at Fox News Channel. And this is the guy he's now endorsing, saying it's this guy's year.
The government lies out of hand. You're saying, well, then why do you believe in the moon landing? Because I have sources inside NASA. They put on some fake stuff for you. See, there was a lie. See, it's not just did we go or didn't we go. You were shown the Tinker Toy stuff because you're not supposed to see what they really got. You're not supposed to know the thousands of astronauts that have died. Oh, yes. In fact, I should do a whole show on that. In fact, this is the kind of stuff will get you killed.
The night of the Boston Marathon bombing, that same conspiracy theorist guy said, quote, our hearts go out to those that are hurt or killed. Boston Marathon, but this thing stinks to high heaven. False flag. And by false flag, he means a cloak and dagger, super extra, double top secret black ops operation that the government carries out in such a way as to make it look like the operation was done by somebody else. He means the U.S. government bombed Boston. So our own government could make it look like we were under attack.
That's enough. We're almost out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to go to Infowars.com and you need to read the articles that Paul Watson and Kurt Nimmo put out dealing with the fact of why you should always look at government as the #1 suspect. Why government should be the first suspect in a terror attack, and then it's the whole history of it. A brief history of false flag terror attacks. Or why governments love state-sponsored terror. Everybody should send this to MSNBC, to all of their employees, most of them who are compartmentalized. By the way, it's come out that CNN and other groups like MSNBC have CIA there actually writing and loading the teleprompters. Don't believe me, they even came out in the Washington Post and WorldNet Daily, 2000. And she just hopes you don't look that up. I mean, Maddow is more like a foundation person, which is above the CIA. I mean, she's here to break it all down. She's a technocrat. She knows the whole ball game, folks. She signed on to it. Just because she hates life. She just loves evil. I mean, you can just look at her. Hey, you know what, you robot, you witch? You're not going to win. And by the way, it's come out that Tamerlan was working under the CIA. It's come out there was 5 contacts and the Russians blew their cover and even went to the CIA and said, keep your guy out of here trying to blow stuff up. And see, he was blown and he didn't know. That's when they started getting ready to set up Tamerlan. Then they just got his brother to tag along. Because now he was a compromised asset and they flushed you down the toilet. And everybody should remember who works for this New World Order. You are totally and completely expendable. You are a biological android drone to them. And when they're done with military, they are going to take your guns. That's why they shoot you up with time-lapse, time-delayed vaccines to kill you down the road.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
Rachel Maddow is attacking us and saying that the right wing has taken the gloves off. No, the right wing hasn't taken their gloves off. The American people are getting past left, right, and getting back to the Bill of Rights and Constitution. The left's pushing tyranny, the right's pushing tyranny, but Obama is trying to, quote, radically transform America into a bankrupt, domesticated, collectivized society run by a bunch of offshore banks that are tax exempt. They're butchering the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution right now. We're getting Gerald Celente on. Right now, he's going to be on for the rest of the hour coming up. And I promise, I will open the phones up so Gerald can take a few of your questions on any issue you want to raise. So we'll give out that number coming up in the next segment. But the big news is Hagel. I mean, we told you over a year ago that they were going to false flag and blame Syria for a chemical attack. Now, Syria would never do that because that would then allow an attack on them. And then Syria came out and said, Al-Qaeda is preparing to launch chemical weapons on us. And Al-Qaeda put out videos showing themselves nerve gassing a dog, bragging how they would do it to menace the Syrians. See, they think Americans are so dumb. They let al-Qaeda publicly menace and scare the Syrian people and military, hoping they do something. I mean, you would never use a chemical weapon in asymmetrical warfare where you don't know where the terrorists are. That turns everybody against you. You would never do that. It's like saying Assad's going to barbecue, you know, Sunni children on his lawn. And this is a proxy war. This is a proxy war. And again, Assad's his own thing, dictator family, trying to democratize the country, a lot better than his dad, probably 10 times better. This is a war crime going on over there. And this has been going on now for, I don't know, 25 months, 26 months. And I want to get, again, Syria girl back on because everything she said's come true. And then a few months ago, they say, oh, chemical was used. You've got Turkey attacking with NATO. You've got Israel helping. You've got Qatar. You've got Saudi Arabia, the main group, sending in real al-Qaeda to take down the really secular government and just involved in incredible war crimes, torturing, murdering Christians, chopping their heads off. But it's never on our news. Even well, it is when the New York Times a few months ago, I remember 6 months ago or so, was like, man, look at the great fighters. Yeah, they're out of Saudi Arabia. They're kind of jihadis, but, man, they really are fighting evil Assad. Hell, the first year of the attack, they would say, peaceful demonstrators killed by the meanie government. When al-Qaeda had tanks and airplanes, they were like, Gaddafi's killing innocent protesters and has rape rooms, and they fuel the all-night rape sessions with Viagra. They're like, put Viagra in there. Americans know what Viagra is. They'll think it's real. It'd be like, bad man hurt lady. They can point at Australia. The average American's like, kill country then. We will nuke. We will nuke Libya. And they're pointing at, they actually did a TV piece where Americans said nuke Australia because they, I'm going to send people out and say, this is where al-Qaeda is. This is al-Qaeda stand. And I believe the average Austinite where I live will say, nuke them to hell. It's like a red cape. Get them there. And the American people charge, and then they gore their own liberty. We have video coming up the next hour that is off the charts. We asked Californians, should Nazis take over America and put gun owners in camps and take their guns? And the Californians said, if it's liberal, yes. These people. I mean, they are something special. Where was that? On the coast of L.A.? Oceanside, California. And I mean, these are real people. And it's like, remember the Mark Dice video? He went along with us. So amazing. So amazing. You know, Mark Dice has attacked me in the past, and the whole world's falling apart. I don't even care. He's doing some good work. I don't even care. People don't understand. I don't care when I'm attacked. I've had people come up to me, I'm sorry the national media is connecting you to the terror attack. And I go, that means we're exposing them. They did it. Of course they're going to attack us. This is proof. I feel great. I feel great whatever happens. I'm doing the right thing. And Mark was asking the crew, like, is this a setup? Alex really wants to be friends? Yeah, Mark, I want to be friends. I don't care. You can say I'm an axe murderer if you want. Over a year ago, we said that they would try to stage chemical attacks in Syria and blame the Assad regime. They're now in the media saying we've got to attack them, and even trying to imply, and I knew it would happen during the break I was watching TV, trying to connect the attack on Syria to what happened on Boston. It's kind of like 15 of the supposed hijackers come from Saudi Arabia, so we attack Iraq, and there's WMDs and mobile anthrax labs, all lies. It all came out, premeditated lies. Now Obama is got his guy up there, Hagel, Chuck Hagel, head of the Defense Department, saying, oh, yeah, we've got evidence. They're the ones that launched the chemical weapons. And that's exactly what the Assad regime's been saying. You would never use it in asymmetrical warfare, saying they're going to blame us. Al-Qaeda has smuggled it in. They're going to try to frame us. They said that about a year ago, over a year ago. We said that was the plan. And it is incredible. Another war. See, they've lost with Al-Qaeda and over 60,000 out of Saudi Arabia that NATO's brought in and Turkey's brought in, and Turkey shelling Syria. They've lost that takeover. That 2-year war, proxy war, with just incredible atrocities against Christians and Jews by the Al-Qaeda group our government's putting in. See, they think you're so dumb and ignorant about geopolitical things that our government in NATO uses Al-Qaeda and even puts it in the LA Times and CFR, and then the public doesn't even know that's going on. But now they're saying, oh, lone actors with these bombers, but they had Lindsey Graham, the senator, up there going, the CIA is so brave, to known CIA agent on CNN, Anderson Cooper. In fact, I think they're still on. Right as I came out, they were on there on CNN. I mean, this is the type of garbage. And CNN has so little viewers now, they're putting cooking shows on. We have more viewers than their top shows, their top 3 shows every day combined. That's conservative, by the way. I'm freaked out by the fact that one way or another, 50 million people came through our websites and news show last week. We have the Google Analytics. 50 million people. Now, no wonder they came out. And then we're going to Gerald Celente. Some stations just joined us 2 days ago and said the bombers did it because of Alex Jones. Bombing suspect influenced by mysterious radical. Infowars.com is who they blamed. That was AP. Tamerlan linked to Infowars conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Slate. Tamerlan believed in basically every conspiracy theory. Slate. News of Australia. Alleged bomber was Alex Jones conspiracy fan. Tamerlan was Alex Jones fan. Salon. I'm not going to keep going over these. Gawker. Accused marathon bomber influenced by Infowars. He also had Spider-Man and Michael Jackson on his Facebook, so it's their fault too. So all of this is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's come out and been confirmed. All over the Russian news, the Georgian government released the documents. Tamerlan was under the State Department and Zbigniew Brzezinski in a CIA program. Gee, really? The Russians blew his cover now, just as the mother said, not 2.5 years ago, 5 years ago. They came to the CIA, that's in the New York Times today, and said, is this guy one of your spies? Because he's hanging out with terrorists who the West is funding to destabilize us. And that's all on record. Just like our government runs al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria. And then you've got the setup, the drill confirmed, all the other backpacks, all of this. Probably part of a drill. They set him up. They're out partying. They figure out they're coming after him. Was there a real shootout? I don't know. Now he's confessed. No judge, no jury, no proof. With his throat cut out. Gets out of the boat fine, cut his throat out.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.